The email said, free breakfast networking in the city. It was early in the morning, but it was a free breakfast, an offer too good to refuse. And I figured out, what's the worst that can happen? I might get some new clients that way. So I signed up to the event. And on the train journey to the event a couple of weeks later, I polished my speech as, I help individuals in better communicating their message by public speaking and presentation skills. And as I was doing that, I also reflected on my journey in networking. My journey as in many ways an accidental networker. My first experience of networking was at university. In my third year of university, I resolved to be less of an introvert. So I did a couple of things. I joined a student training group and delivered some training, and I joined the Entrepreneur Society, Banter. And Banter organized a one-day social enterprise conference on the University of Bath campus. And the day started with a networking workshop delivered by Rachel Holland, a really tall, long lady. And Rachel taught us 3 things that morning. Number 1, your handshake should be firm but not too strong. Number 2, do not say pleased to meet you. Say how do you do instead, which confuses a lot of people whenever I say it. They say I'm fine. Not the way you're supposed to say. You're just supposed to reply how do you do by how do you do. It's Queen's English apparently. It's best to speak that way. And the third thing she taught us was, if you want to open a conversation, do not ask, where are you from? Instead, have you traveled far? And armed with these few tips, I went to the conference. And I did meet some interesting people. 2 girls that traveled all the way from Manchester to attend, and a group of students that came with a minibus from the University of Southampton. But networking didn't really quite gel with me, and even in my final year of university, I just didn't really like it. It seemed like a base thing to do. It seemed the thing that other people would do to take advantage, because they knew somebody that knew somebody that knew somebody that could give them something or do something for them. It just felt so unfair, so wrong, that instead of judging people on their merits or on their skill, you would just shortcut the process and use friends. It wasn't networking, but rather nepotism for me. And these feelings were strengthened after university as I applied for a job. Oh, we liked you in the interview, you were quite enthusiastic, but rejection. Oh, you scored 98th percentile in the logic test. That's very good, sir. But rejection. Oh, in the group exercise, we like to perform, but rejection. Rejection, rejection, rejection. And whenever I would meet somebody that said, oh, I applied for one graduate job in Barclays and I got it the first try. Well, I wanted to say to that person were 2 things. Number 1, you're a bitch. Number 2 was, what the hell did you know to make it possible? Eventually, I did get a graduate job. I didn't have energy. One of hundreds of applicants to get the job, apparently. And as we kind of got started on the graduate training program, one thing became obvious to me really quickly. We had training during the day, but that's not really what mattered. What really mattered was what was going on after the training, when the lads would go to the bar and maybe go some clubbing and have some drinks, where friendship would be formed and links would be made, and support groups formed that were sent off to various power stations all over the country. And I started to realize that actually I would have to master networking in some shape or form eventually. I moved to London 6 years ago with the company, and it was an office job, no longer an engineering job. So there were things like, oh, welcome drinks for somebody, or somebody else leaving drinks. And I started to attend. It felt a bit weird initially, but I started to quite like it after some time, especially when people were buying me drinks. I never said no to free drinks after all. But at the same time, something else happened that kind of changed my perspective on networking completely. I joined Toastmasters. And I quickly discovered, oh my God, there are more than one Toastmaster clubs in London. I could visit all these other clubs. And as I was visiting all these other clubs, I started to know people. I started to know somebody that could do something. And eventually, when I became a district leader, somebody would ask me, there's something going on in that club, what's going on? I say, well, I've been there, I'm the president, I can tell you what's going on. Oh, I'm looking for a trainer to do a workshop on evaluation. I've got a couple of people just for you. Here's a list of 3 phone numbers. And I kind of started to realize that networking could actually be something that just powered me to achieve better things, to help other people. Not necessarily some kind of shabby background deal where basically everybody was plotting against everybody else, which is not what it is at all. I'm still a novice at networking, but I do enjoy it now. I actually quite enjoyed that networking event in the city a few weeks ago, and I did get some potential clients out of it. No sales yet, but I am on my way, I have to say. I still have a lot to learn as far as networking is concerned. I don't make notes on little business cards like some people do, and I'm still kind of naturally very much an introvert, even though I love stage time and public speaking. Go figure. But networking is really something that can help all of you to achieve your own goals. It's not necessarily about plotting against somebody's back and shortcutting the system. Networking is fundamentally about building connections with other people. Connections that becomes web that becomes support network that can support you in achieving greater things. Madam Toastmaster.